Welcome back, welcome home to the Your Podcast. Once again, episode 179, we have the amazing TikTok famous Adam Lowder. newly viral. Adam, we actually wanted to try something really quick, something different for the first time. We want to show you a video. I want to see if this could work. I have to share my screen on Discord. Okay?
Okay.
What?
Oh, okay.
What? Dude.
Oh, man. I'm so mad.
What, bro? No.
Wait, what?
No. This is just an idea. This is just an idea we had, and we just wanted to see what you thought. Oh, perfect. This is good. This is
my
good.
eyes.
This is good. No. Come on.
Right.
This is we wanted to show you this because we thought maybe you could rope this into the new TikTok fame.
Well, now he's not moving. Look at this.
Have you ever seen something like this? Like they do this to clean the cow's hooves. You grew up in Texas. I figure you've been around stuff like this before.
He's a good guy,
No.
actually.
Look, and they put their foot on a stirrup.
Oh my god.
Dude, what is going on? This is horrible. This is horrible.
Did you guys see that?
Wait.
Oh Jesus.
So we thought.
Oh, the noise. Oh, he's squeezing it.
Oh,
That literally just missed me.
crying.
See whether it's
Now, wait, hold up. Check this out.
solid or what it is. It's fluid.
They're beautiful
So Adam,
creatures.
what do you think about that?
But she's
First
gonna
of all.
feel so much better from this. It's extremely
Adam,
No, check that out. Oh,
look at that cheese.
the pain that must have been so sore. It's a real pleasure to be able to make her feel
It looks like
than she did before she
it looks like cheese, dude, coming out. Fucking. Oh my god. Okay,
This is terrible.
so we just wanted to
Oh.
welcome you back for your 10th appearance on the show, man. I want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Oh. Dude, careful.
Did you forget?
Realist podcast.
This is
What happened?
Oh.
I'm gonna be real, Dave. Before the podcast, Dave went on my computer and started playing. He's like, "Dude, this is crazy, man! I watch this every night before bed, dude."
You said that.
I know,
No,
I
Mike said
did say that, but I ate food before this, and I'm not gonna lie, I really have a stomachache now, and I don't feel good.
So,
So, Adam,
Adam Lowder, welcome back to the show, man.
Thanks.
Good to
How's my
see you.
color?
you look great.
I'm
man.
good.
Look a little pale
You
right
look
now.
Great.
Dude,
Oh.
I am not. I can't watch stuff like that.
Dude, my nose starts running, bro. I get like immediately queasy.
I mean, I feel so good for the cow because
They must feel
Right?
great.
oh my god.
gotta suck. And you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
You have
And if that's your business, you gotta do it. But like, I'm gonna hire somebody.
Did you see
It ain't
how?
gonna be me.
Oh my god. Did you see how the stirrup when they didn't even do anything? They just put the leg
All he
in the
did was
stirrup.
move it. He just moved it.
And the thing was so swollen on the kneecap that it shot through skin. It was so. And then it's like, what does that smell like? That cheesy like.
Bro, you're the worst.
And when it's pouring out like fondue.
What are you gonna do with that? Where does that go? Oh my god! Like talking about skeezy stuff, like stuff that makes you queasy, bro. Like, what's something for you that gets your nose runny? Like when it's like uncomfortably,
Pick anything and everything. There's anything. Human, anything. Yeah, that stuff is terrible. People love, pimple popping stuff. I can't.
You don't like that
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
stand
I'm
that
good.
stuff.
We don't need that. We don't need any of that.
No, bro. Oh, I laughed so hard.
Dave does like watching people almost throw up, though. And he told me that. He likes when they, like, heave.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, that's not nice, dude.
Yeah.
That's
it's
really
funny.
mean.
Yeah. You love it.
That's super mean.
Why is
relish
that?
it.
Is that psychopathic behavior that I think it's funny?
It can't be good.
It's funny.
No.
I'm saying
It's not
it can't be good.
It's not.
It's
They're
not
not in
good.
pain. They're not hurting. They're just nauseous. You know.
Yeah.
And then it's the involuntariness of the heave.
That's good to know.
You know.
Yeah.
It's like you can't control it.
Yeah, of course.
And
Yeah.
it's totally
I mean,
instinctual
I
and primal.
do the same thing with people like falling down and stuff. Like I seen that video of that kid just ramming himself on that scooter into the fence. I'm not gonna lie, man, I laughed.
What about that kid singing?
That's what I was gonna say.
you
Can we
wanna
pull
show
that up? There's one
That
thing,
poor kid, man.
dude.
When you're young, man, you just bounce off stuff.
You want to show him that too?
Yeah, if we can, man.
We could.
There's another thing, bro. We were watching before.
Oh,
I don't know if I showed it to you or not. I don't think I did. We're trying to start this off in a bright, positive place, man. You know,
right.
we were watching this video, and I think it's hysterical. Mikey was laughing at it too. I don't know if you'll think it's funny though.
How would I even find it?
Type in what you typed in last time.
What was it?
Just think of what the guy's doing in the, in the
Okay.
thing, and what happens to him. Sorry, Adam, bro. I'm sorry. I just think you'll see why
You're
I think it's
not.
funny. You'll see why.
You're not sorry.
Okay, it's our podcast. We
All
can do
right.
whatever we want.
You can, 100%. Now I know what to do next time when you say, "Hey, you want to?"
Can you see this? Can you see it? He can't see it.
Are you watching?
No, I can't. I just see y'all.
He just sees it. He just,
Oh, click on the I shared the screen. There's like a window.
Oh boy.
It's all off the rails. This episode.
You don't see it?
Guys, if you're listening right now, thank you. Like and subscribe. We love you. I'm so glad you're back. Welcome home.
I shared the screen.
We got some technical issues.
Like
do it?
where you see us, you know, on the squares.
Yeah.
It should show like another one sharing the screen.
It says sharing their screen, but I don't see it.
No.
All right.
I have to add you? No, because you.
All right. Let's just do.
Oh,
all-
okay, it's working now. Wait,
Now
no,
it's
it's
working.
not.
Now it's- Wait, now we got it. Now we got it.
How about now?
It says Mike is sharing his screen.
How about now? Yeah, click on it.
Bro, there ain't nothing to click.
What about
I
now?
wish there was. Mm-mm. I mean, I'm not
You
completely
see nothing.
illiterate.
You're telling me you
when it
see
comes-
nothing.
I just
Adam,
see you guys
Click the thing he sent you just now.
in the chat.
Dude, Dave's got to chill.
Hey, what?
All right, hold up.
Wait, am I gonna get a virus? What are you
No,
doing?
you're fine, man. I'll just send. I'll. You know what? Let's just go past
We
this.
gotta do a whole read for the school. We gotta talk more about a lot of stuff. So we gotta get into this, man. But
Let's just get past that.
we can't watch it.
We're not watching it.
Damn it.
Where?
It's broken. We should have troubleshooted this, dude. Honestly. You know what? This is good because all the last episodes have been very dark.
That's so true.
All right.
This is a very
And this is fun.
This is a change of pace right here.
Yeah, you want to have fun.
You know what, Adam? Let me.
I'm not having.
Let me. If I send you a message on Discord, will you be able to track that?
Yes, I just waved at you on Discord chat, so you should
Oh,
see
beautiful.
that.
Beautiful.
Bro,
We'll do that.
how hard is it to share a screen nowadays?
It's tough.
You already shared it earlier, and it worked. So I don't understand.
check that out.
See if that works for you.
I see this.
Okay.
Watch that.
Okay,
Is that funny?
oh my god,
Dude, okay.
that's
When you're talking about acting and you're looking at behavior, do you see the switch that happens there? The fantasy, how abruptly the fantasy ends, and how quickly the primal survival instinct kicks in.
That was amazing. Yes, I do see it. Could y'all hear when I was watching it?
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's good.
It's perfect.
Sound like a psycho. Dying laughing. Dude, that is hilarious.
It's funny.
I'm glad
right?
he's okay.
Yeah, and that's I think why it's funny because he's okay.
I'm honestly, that's
Dude,
probably my biggest fear, to get like a video like that be viral of me, like, you know,
Dude, if you had
like I'm
a
in the
video-
shower like singing,
if you
and
had
then
a-
the ceiling falls or something, you know, just like something awful.
if you really had a video like that online
Yeah.
and it was viral and you were the kid that had the ceiling fall in the shower on him,
Oh,
dude, we would never talk about it, but I just know I'm watching that thing like nonstop.
You know
dude,
what?
On the side.
I'd have to lean into it. I
You
think that's the
have
thing, dude. You got to lean into
Make
it.
merch. Do all that stuff.
Yeah. Make the money off it.
yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah, you gotta make lemonade out of those.
Well, right now, bro, so we're talking about social media. We're talking about funny stuff, videos, and virality. We've said it a few times. It's your 10th appearance on this podcast. You're about to bring we wanted you here because you're going to bring a lot of eyes to us right now because you're hot.
Yeah.
Right.
You're hot right now in the streets, dude. And TikTok, you're blowing up. So I wanted to talk to you about that. What's new? How's life changed in the last 2 days? And how are you feeling?
Honestly, my attorney and my reps are invoicing you as we speak.
Shit. Okay.
My time is very, very valuable.
I was worried about that.
Told your Mike the other day, I don't remember your name,
Okay.
even though I just said it. No. You're so silly.
No, but
Nothing's changed.
What's the
Nothing's
deal
changed.
with that, dude?
No, let's talk about it, man.
Let's talk about
Because
TikTok.
I'm going to be real. I remember you were starting out, Anytown Actors Lab, obviously.
Shout out.
Teaching acting, and you started, posting videos about, the teachings. I'm guessing they're teachings, that come from what you want to teach to other actors and what you think is important. And I think it's cool to see that, you get some recognition, at least online, there's someone out there that, they look at that and they see that it's coming from you, and you're trying to teach this thing, put this one thing out there, and it gets some, like, a little bit of traction. And how does that feel? Like, it must feel cool.
Oh man, yeah, no, it is cool. It's really, really cool. I think what I like is that I was telling Dave earlier, it just feels good to have people that are responding to the things I love and
Yeah.
I'm passionate about with the same type of energy. So it's fun to like interact with them. You know how they always will. Like I follow a lot of people that are giving you tips about creating content and being consistent and
Yeah.
finding your passion and getting it out there and blah blah blah. And they're always like, man, here's the 5 steps to like make sure that you blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And one of them is always like, make sure you're engaging in the comments. And I was always like, why would you not? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
But I understand there's a lot of people out there that get a lot of comments and a lot of things. And so it takes a lot of time to respond and interact. But it's been like so fun for me because I'm already in the pocket of the thing I love doing. So if someone wants to talk about why Brando changed acting, that's really fun to me. Like I could do that in my sleep. You know?
Yeah.
It's just, so it's been cool the last couple of days to put something out there and then for people to respond. And what I love is asking people questions and seeing where they're at, because that's right to the heart of our business.
Yeah.
I want to see what the public thinks about filmmaking, storytelling, and movies today, and how we can better serve the public who's looking for stories all the time, looking for films in an age where there's an unbelievable amount of movies and TV, and it seems like people are still starving for quality. And to direct them to things that are obviously high quality, like great movies, and isolate the reasons why they're great and timeless, and get a sense of, okay, maybe there is a market for what we're doing. And maybe there is a group of people out there that want to see movies that are interesting, challenging, original, and uphold those same principles and standards that make the greatest movies so great. So it's just been cool. It's just been fun to.
Yeah.
Me and Dave talk every day, so it's like sometimes we talk ourselves into a bit of a. Are we crazy? I think we're crazy. And it's like it's so nice to be like, no. Well, yes, we are crazy in some ways, but it's nice to see that. Oh no, we have a passion and a meaning for something, and so do a lot of other people. So we share that with them.
Yeah, that's so cool. What do I want to ask? I want to ask damn it.
I got a question
You got it?
right away, firing it away. You know,
Right?
I told you, get on TikTok. You got you jumped on. You said, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's give this a shot. I had experienced a little bit of virality before, and I said, I think this thing pushes some organic, like passionate, honest content. And I think you'd be well suited, like with the Anytown stuff. Definitely. Like we should put that stuff out there. And you did it. And at first, shit don't go so smooth, right? It's like, you know, few views and a couple likes and 1 or 2 comments or whatever. Was there ever a time when you were like, maybe this ain't it? Maybe this ain't gonna work out on here.
Yeah. I think
Little
as
doubt.
soon as you start anything, you have that thought like this might not work. But we did such a great job, I think, of taking the necessary time to understand our mission and what we're doing. That because it's connected to something so meaningful to us, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'll try anything. And yes, I had my own preconceived notions about TikTok. I had my own preconceived notions about social media in general because I
this
was
stuff?
off social media.
With this?
Yeah. I mean, exactly. I just didn't know what it was all about. And the last time I was personally on social media was in 2015, I think. And so a lot's changed since then. And so I feel like an old man. And then I just look at it as like, oh, it's a distraction and it's gonna keep me from focusing on what's important, so I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
And then Dave, you were like, no, you gotta check it out because there's people you want to talk to and reach that are out there, and they're just moving to a different platform. It's the same people. It's just they're over here. And it took me a minute to say, all right, I guess so. But I think our past 2 years have been about experimentation and all right, I'll try it, and just seeing what works and what doesn't, and adjusting. And I think that's the name of the game for anyone building a business at all.
Yeah.
Is to see like test and then adjust.
Yeah.
And you have to be adaptive to what's happening because things are changing all the time. And it's really not about numbers. It's about meaning and connecting. And so it's nice to see something resonate with a group of people that, you know, I think would dig what we're doing. And so just starting, that's nice. I think a good thing to talk about is what we discussed about TikTok specifically.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, oh man, you know, it's just like the dopamine and the scroll and like there goes 5 hours, dude. I'm just not gonna do it. So averse to it. But then you told me like, because I was doing a bunch of Instagram carousels and slides, and I was trying to learn that, and so many people were like, dude, you got to move over because Instagram is dying. And I was like, what? I just figured it out. But it was like, well, either adapt or die. And so, okay, let me try it. And what I started to do is follow people that had good tips. There's tons of people out there, I mean, to give you tips, and I don't know if they're good or bad. So you just start trying them. But what I started to realize was you were right. It's so much more about the authenticity of people's passions. I think everybody got super fed up with the polished, artificial, fake life. They're like, man, this ain't real. And you watch movies that are on the highest tech, the highest gear, all the CGI, everything is to the nth degree amazing. Where's the humanity? Where's the real stuff? Where's the timeless stuff? And so it makes me excited because I start to see like, oh, wow, this thing blew up. And I'm seeing that the stuff that gets pushed by the algorithm and the people that are really excited are the people that are connecting to what's real. So it was funny, I pulled out my little microphone and stuff for the first time in a while because nobody wants to hear the crispest. It's got to be So you're following Peter McKinnon on YouTube, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I got to be a studio myself if I'm going to make anything."
Yeah.
And it was discouraging. He was great. He was teaching a bunch of cool stuff. I was watching him back in the day when he first started, and I was like, "This guy's growth is nuts." But then, what I like is this is totally stripped down. I just want to see the real you, hear what you have to say. And if your passion is plants or cats or food or movies or podcasts or anything, what's amazing is it's highlighting what's unique about each individual person. And so if your thing is like getting tucked in at night by the camping guy who's serving you like tea with honey and whispering to you at night, like, cool, that's great.
Old time hockey right there.
Yeah, that guy. That's so specific and unique, and he's found his thing. So it's just cool to see that, and the stuff that I get each day when I'm just checking it out and doing research is so random and different. And yeah, it's always stuff that's got millions of likes or views, and then there's stuff that's just got 0. It's like, hey guys, I'm doing my fitness thing for the day, like, check this out. And I'm like, oh. And then I'm like, oh, my shoulder. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Oh. And I'm like, what? This guy's got no following. Yeah. And I'm like, that's so amazing that I can see this and test it out for myself and say, oh yeah, I like this. So yeah, it's been a learning curve, but it's been fun because we already have what we know is what we want to do. It's just a means of delivering what's meaningful to us to other people.
Yeah.
And then sharing and vice versa, like going back and forth. It's really fun.
I really want to add like to that specifically with like the Peter McKinnon, like, because I was totally lost in that too. Like when he first like got huge, and like Casey Neistat, it's like a lot of those like people that make it's almost like a trend, It starts this trend, but the reality is it's only breeding more just like copycats of trying to copy that style and copy whatever they're doing, and that's all that's really gonna do unless people get inspired and like try to make something like their own style. But a lot of the time it's usually people just biting off that, and they're like, oh, I can get huge off this too. And sometimes it does, but I think that doesn't last. And if those people can't adapt, then it really that like, it's sad. It's just a trend. You know what I mean? It goes away after a couple months or a year.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If it's not grounded in something that means enough to you that you won't quit, then you're dead anyway.
That's the thing. It's like you don't want to get caught in that cycle, I think, because it's cool. It can inspire you, but sometimes if you're not doing it for that reason of you want to better this thing that you're trying to bring out and create, instead of you can get lost in, I'm just making this, and there's this formula that I can follow and it'll end up with a pretty solid product, but it's still not unique to you. You're kind of copying this thing, and it's not gonna last. You can get caught in that because everyone wants a formula, everyone wants a way to do it, like the 5 steps to sick content, dude. Like, let's get it. But I think that's what we're seeing with these different apps. Like, it started with Vine. It's the same app, dude. It's the same app. It's 10-second video to a minute video, and it's a quick little thing to catch your eye. Same thing with TikTok, Musical.ly, it's the same stuff, and maybe that's just the tip, just don't get caught in the cycle of the trend. You gotta break away and add your uniqueness.
I feel the same. Like talking about acting, dude, you could relate that totally to acting. Yeah, in the beginning, it's like you're inspired by somebody or something you've watched before, or like, I don't know, there's someone on screen, and you're like, whoa, that's good acting. That's really good. I don't know why, but it's amazing, and I'm gonna be that. I'm gonna be Brando now. And then you go to school and you try to do the Brando thing, right? And if you have a good enough teacher, they say stop doing the Brando thing. We got to get to know who you are. And, it took me a decade, a little under a decade to be like, oh yeah, I got to separate myself from being somebody else and get real acquainted with me in order to have a craft, be organic in myself. And it's like the secret ingredient of all good art. It's just the artist brings themselves to the piece of art that they're making, and that's what separates it and makes it unique, like you were saying, and like one of a kind, something that you want to take a look at, and something you haven't thought about before, you haven't seen before, you haven't heard before. Totally relates to acting, dude. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I'm sick of. I'm at the point now where, like, we bring up, an actor. I used to, and, we were both guilty of this, like running around trying to watch every interview and listen to every word and where did they work, and I'm in the same spot as them. I'm breathing the same air as them. I'm like, I don't know, wearing the same clothes as them. I'm just like them. And it's like, no. At this point, I'm so done idolizing anyone like doing a thing. They're just a human being, successful, not successful, whatever. It's all the same. It's the difference is opportunity and timing, and unfortunately, it's not just how good you are anymore. It just has a lot to do with timing, or people, or whatever. Some people are really special, and everyone, I believe everyone is, and everyone has a talent and a gift. But it's not specifically with acting. It's just. I'm just saying. I think I've finally like been able to take a step back and say, oh, I don't have to idolize people. I don't have to look at some other person and say, oh man, if only I was like that. They're like a god amongst men. Why am I not like that? How do I get like that? I'm finally realizing, like, oh, I'm going to be in this body, and this is who I am, and I'm grateful to be who I am, and I'm going to be the best me and present the best me and do the best I can and fine tune this instrument to try to get the sound to come out. And yeah. How do you feel about that, dude? Because we talk about that a lot.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's all about who you are. Who are you deeply and specifically? And we've shared this quote before, but Jim Carrey's quote about art, he was like, it's an outer molding of your inner life.
Yeah.
And then, trying to be someone else is a waste of who you are. And then Stephen King said, emulation precedes creativity. So all these things kind of work together. You start out by being like, oh, I'm going to copy this person because I admire them.
Yeah.
But what you come to find out is if they're a really great artist, they just really know themselves really well, or what means the most to them. And then they found a way to make an outer molding of what's most meaningful inside. And so isn't that what we're supposed to do? I mean, that's what Stanislavski said to do. It's like, let the artists live, let them experience all the gamut of human emotions. But at the end of the day, let them take all of those emotions and make art through them. So yeah, you really demystify the idols in the world, because you do realize they're just people, and you are also that. And so get really, really specific about who you are and what is the most meaningful thing to you. And that'll take you so far. Like, that'll just take you so far. And it's a beautiful thing to see people start to make that connection in their own passion, pursuit, acting life, if that's what they want to do. Because you remember the time when you started to understand what that was and then put it into practice. And you started to like the moldings that you created with others in theater and plays and movies. So yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. I'm loving to see that people are trying to get back to the real deal.
Yeah.
I always say this too, last thing I'll say, but I always say, breaking down Meisner's quote of acting, living truthfully under imaginary circumstances, the first order of business, if you're an actor, is to live truthfully under real circumstances. If you can really live truthfully today, then that's a good foundation upon which you can build connecting yourself over to the imaginary circumstances. So yeah, if you know yourself really, really well, you're in a good spot.
Yeah.
I had a question for you guys. What's a piece of art that moved you recently?
Oh, a song.
Oh, I was going to say a song too.
Just heard it a couple days ago. There's two. Last night I was driving home from my in-laws' house, listening to the song called Home by Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. Have you guys heard that?
No.
Home, let me come home. Home is wherever I'm with you.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
You ever heard that? I'll play that for you later. But me and Lena were singing it in the car, and it was like this beautiful like karaoke fucking, I don't know, like staring at each other's eyes and just frozen moment type of meaning. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It was awesome. It was awesome. And then what was the other song that got me? This Year's Love by David Gray. Whoosh. Whoosh. That one messed me up good. Beautiful song.
This Year's Love.
Yeah, by David Gray.
What about it messed you up?
I just felt the pain in this guy's singing. I felt like the hopefulness, but also the dread of like, this needs to go well, me and you. Like I really hope this year is the one kind of thing. And I just felt I could see him. I was like, oh man, started feeling everything he was singing. You could hear it in his tone. It meant something to him, at least in my head. Yeah, so those two, and then Bukowski poems I've been reading at work, and there was one about this guy. It's a short story of his. I forget what it's called. It's not The Secret. Short story, Confession of a Coward, and that's exactly what it is. It's a couple, and he gets really raw with like these two people. It's kind of like it's not like I realize like he's playing with the idea of two people stuck in a room together, and they're a couple, and the guy just has these dreams, these like lofty things he always talks about, but instead he just won't leave his room. Like, and his wife has these dreams too, but they can't communicate them to each other, and it was just like this sad, like hot, I just imagine like a New York apartment, and he's just stuck in it, and he kept having these dreams and all these ideas, and he wants to be a clown, or he wants to travel, he wants to, pick up a guitar, or he wants to learn, and he just sits there and ages, you know what I mean? He never opens the door.
Yeah.
Wow.
By the end of it, he's like crying out like things that he wants, and it just never moved forward. So it struck me that part of me that's like afraid that things are going to pass me by, or like, I have a dream and it's never fulfilled, and I just cry out when I'm older. You know what I mean? Like, so it struck that nerve for sure. But that's my answer.
You know what I realized with something I realized about art that I haven't for a long time? I think this is like one of the base like things about it that makes it so moving is, we talked about it before, it's like you're able to convey a feeling, but like without like just like saying it like bluntly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're able to do it like in a different way.
Yeah.
There's like a million different ways to do it.
Yeah.
But if you're able to convey that like a feeling like, like a, I don't know why I thought of like a flower, like a rose in the concrete or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's like you just look at it and you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you hear something and you know.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm capturing in this the feeling of being lonely in the summer and hopeful for next summer. So, and it's like, that's a very like, just the essence of feeling, and then to like whittle it down into a song and say like,
and the lyrics might be about like, something completely different,
right?
But it's about,
but you
some
capture
struggle or something.
a real personal, meaningful feeling that you're sharing through your art. Yeah, man. Good point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point and good description. Damn.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's why, like, you go to all these meetings and you try to talk to people about your movie and your idea, and it's like, I can use a million words, man. I need a movie to tell you the truth of this.
Yeah.
I need a movie, man. I need the elements of a film to express this to you. It doesn't work by just talking about it. And that's what's so awesome about art, is when you have a thing, an outlet, music, anything, whatever, it gives you that ability, the medium, to say, this is what I'm trying to express to you. And I just feel like artists are so driven to express, and that they're driven through so fervently, because that they'll push through any obstacle to get that thing expressed. And I think that's what's amazing about the awakening potential of true independent cinema. Like I don't care, I have to say this, I have to express this. It excites me because we've even had people read the script. It's a very specific story. And they're like, oh, they have a lot of feedback, a lot of things that they like about it. And I'm still like, I can't wait through behavior and images and sound to communicate this and to see what people make of it, you know? And when you were talking about those songs, and then Mikey too, that you can use something to say in a way that you can't quite express it with words alone. But I had that song, a different song I was going to say that has affected me lately, but one that I keep listening to is the song I'll have to say I love you in a song. And it's like, well, I know it's kind of late. Hope I didn't wake you. And it goes through this whole thing. And the lyrics are like, but what I got to say can't wait. I know you'd understand. Because every time I tried to tell you, the words just came out wrong. So I'll have to say I love you in a song. And it's just like so simple and yet so deep. Because how are you going to measure the degree of your love for someone?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it with words. And so you elevate it into a heightened understanding of existence when you add the pattern of music to your expression, because it starts to touch on a nerve that all of us know about but don't have words for, which is belief. It's like, what do you believe? I don't know. There's something going on. I don't know what it is. And as soon as you get lifted by music or some sort of art form, it's like you get chills. And that's almost like your spirit's way of saying something real's going on, something real's going on. And sometimes you get chills from words, but like when it's a piece of art, it's touching upon something unseen, I think. And the unseen realm is something that we're like always discussing and trying to understand more of, and as people, but also me and Dave with this movie and this life in general with friends. And yeah, I mean, obviously I could talk about this stuff all day. It's so great.
It's so great to talk about art, dude. It's such a hard thing to nail down, right? But like at its essence, it's so necessary. It's so needed. We like desire it. Each one of us has a piece of something we need to share. And sometimes you find a way of honing a craft or stumbling into some kind of circumstance, or if you believe in God putting you in a place to present this again, like a fine-tuned, like it just tuned enough this instrument to get this sound to come out in this certain way that no instrument ever will after or before. And thank God it did, because it changed everyone around. Like if there was 5 people in the room, or if a TikTok showed 60,000 people this thing, or you don't know. You don't know who it'll reach, but it's much better out than in. It's much better, like, I think, to like, I don't know, find that thing that means a lot to you and figure out a way to express it. And you will. You will. Yeah.
And the really, really special thing, like from a selfish standpoint, that I gain from other people's art, just as someone who receives it or watches it or whatever. Often in my life, less and less all the time, but growing up, I felt very, very alone in my experiences. I thought, oh man, this is just not fair, or this is so hard, or I'm just can't talk to someone about the struggles of my life. They won't get it, and all that stuff. And then you watch something, a movie, you hear a song, and you're like, oh my goodness, and it gives you this jolt of recognition, I think, reflected in something other than you. And I think that's the main thing I want to do, is I want other people that are in the place that maybe I was in the past, who feel alone. I want them to look at something made by someone totally different than them and go, oh my goodness, that's me. I relate to that. I identify with that. I recognize myself in that, so that they can feel like, oh my goodness, I'm not alone. There is something more than just my own pain, my own suffering. Because if I'm not the only one going through this, then someone out there feels how I feel, and like I can't sit by and let them go one more day feeling as alone as I felt. And if you have creativity in you, you want to express something, you want to make one of those outer moldings, you're doing a service that was given to you when you watched or heard or took in a piece of art. And that's really my selfish thing, is like, oh man, I just love it. I love just sitting down and taking something in because it makes me feel less alone. You know?
Yeah, man. And that's at its purest. That's what I think art does. Like really good art does that. It's based off of like, you have to boil it down to like this real honest, vulnerable share. It's essentially a share, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you make something, and if you choose to share it, which I think, no, I won't say that. If you choose to share it, you put it out there, and then someone sees it and they say exactly what you're saying. Like Bukowski's Bluebird poem. I remember reading it for the first time. I'll never forget. And I was like, whoa, I feel exposed. I feel like I can't believe I would never have thought of naming my feeling of I can't express how I feel because I'm afraid of it being seen by other people. Vulnerability. Like I want to lock that away. Like a what? Like a bluebird in a cage, and I take it out only at night when no one's around, and I just keep it alive just enough, to survive, and like give it a little bit of attention, then put it back in that cage and bury it in my chest, and that just struck such a chord to me, and it made me feel exactly what you're saying, and with my work, like that's the goal, dude. That's the goal. But I wanted to talk to you about this too, man, because we were talking about it a bit today, and I want to like expound on it. And I want to bring you into the conversation with this, like art. Like in my 20s, it was always, I didn't even know what it was that was driving me to act when I started. I had no idea. Story, all of it just changed the temperature of my blood. It gave me chicken skin. It was exciting. It was like, I got to do this. I got to learn this. And there's a deep desire to do it. Now, as I went through it, and as I'm reflecting and learning and growing, going through experiences and doing it a bunch and all of it. On the other side of it, I'm in my 30s now. I look back and I say, wow, a lot of that was like my ego. It was a desire to be loved. It was a desire to be seen and heard and understood. And for me to bring the bluebird out and show somebody and they say, wow, that's lovely. And then I feel like, whoa, that's great. I exist. I belong. Like I belong. I'm loved. And this is my vehicle for that. In life, I have a harder time doing it. Here, it's much easier with someone else's words that are really well written, hopefully, and my opening the channel and being instinctful and honest and reactive, and my doing, and I don't know, just looking back on it, man, like. I came to meet you when I was in my 20s, and like we were burning up New York City. We were like having these lofty ideas and nothing. Not a Mack truck could stop us from what our dream was. You know what I mean? And now we're talking about it, and what we say is in these like phone calls, and we're in pre-production, which we should definitely get into. If this doesn't go, that's okay. If we don't do it again, like that's all right. I'll teach it to somebody, and I'll leave it for when I'm gone. If someone heard it and it helped them out, then my purpose is fulfilled. And like that's a drastic change from what we were thinking and going after and praying to every day when we were younger. Yeah. So what does that like kick up in you, man? I'm like looking at myself and I'm like patting myself on the back, saying, "Whoosh!" It's a little bit of relief now, and like I'm not going to a thing to fulfill me every day. And if I'm not that or not considered that by others, like I'm garbage. Like if someone thinks I retired, then I'm actually cool with that. If someone is saying, Dave can't act, to see something I did and says it's horseshit, like it won't crush me. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I always looked for. I had something in me that I was not okay with. Mm-hmm. Like I was not cool with who I was. I didn't like who I saw in the mirror. I didn't like my existence. And I think I've said this before, potentially in former episodes, and if so, forgive me. But first thing I remember doing, like the first memories I have, was watching country music videos and dressing up. My mom doing little home videos in the 90s, and like I'm like imitating all my favorite country music singers. So Neil McCoy, Garth Brooks, George Strait, Alan Jackson, all these people. I would VHS record that, and in the mornings I would watch them and I would download what they did. These men I love, I respect, I want to be like them. And during the day I would like be them on camera, and I would just sing their songs, and I would do every little thing they did in the music video, and I would get better at it each day. And then at night I would eat Cinnamon Toast and I would watch Michael Jackson, and I would watch him in Thriller and Beat It and Billie Jean and Smooth Criminal, and then I would do the same thing at night. So like that was like my beginning of the day and end of the day. And what that built in me was like a proclivity to look for my value, my validation of existence that totally thwarted my own self-perception in someone else's saying, "You're really talented. You're really good. Oh my gosh." I would go, "Oh, I'm good for 5 minutes, I think." And if it was something I could remember them saying, I would just play it over and over and over in my head again. Like, oh yeah, remember when they said that? That was cool. Because I knew the real truth was that I was trash. Like that's what I was telling myself every day. So it really wasn't a match. I was getting like by myself 99% of the day, then 1% would be nice. I'm losing. It's 99-1 every single time. Just holding L's every night. So it was like
It's
consistent.
so sad, dude.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
And so many of us live this way.
Yeah.
And yes, in my 20s, I was absolutely that. Fireball, just right out of the train. I'm just going to figure out a way to get everyone in the industry, when they see me, to go, "Oh, hey, you're special." And then I'll be special. And then of course, it's not going to be enough. How many people can you look around and say, like, you had everything you needed? And
That's
then,
right.
it wasn't enough. And so it just consistently led to more and more existential crises. And yeah. And then, the apex of what you could achieve at the time, okay, great. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. And then it was like COVID happened, and it was like, yeah, you're funny, man. And I was like, this can't be right. Now I live in Texas. And it's funny because it took that for God to reach me and be like, you crazy? Where do you get your worth from? And I was like, anything. And he was like, anything but me. Like, I love you. I made you. I'm right here for you all the time. And look at what you're doing. Going out and looking for it in some other place. The irony was I was selfishly acting, right? Like you said, it's all ego. Sometimes I'd be a little bit like, oh, that was for you, bro. But no, it wasn't. That's a byproduct of the main point. The main point is, this is for me. Everyone's going to love me because I don't love myself. And if they do, then I'm fine. And the truth was, I wasn't fine. And it took a big wake-up call by God to be like, be honest with yourself. Are you fine? And I was like, no, I'm not fine. I'm angry. And it took rekindling that relationship and getting back to what mattered the most. Yeah, what happened was like a transformation. It's a 180. Because now when you wake up and you go, okay, what am I going to do with my day? It's no longer the plane of thinking of, what can I take out of life? What can I get out of life? Like, I'm not a taker anymore as much as I used to be. I still make mistakes every day, but it's now more like, what do I have? I have so much fulfillment from my relationship with God. So what does that mean I can do today? It means I have my cup runneth over. It means I can give so much away to people that feel the way I felt. Like, people are walking around the way I was walking around. That is the stuff. That's a breeding ground for suicide. Like, how many things could potentially not go wrong before I'd call it quits? This happens every day. And so it's like, okay, well, what can I do? I'm one person. What can I do? And if I can share something that's helpful for someone that's going through the same thing, then that is just an enormous gift and privilege to be able to do that. Because I'm good. That's what you said. If it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool because I'm validated. I have been told, like, I'm okay, I'm enough. And that's the thing that's sustaining and fulfilling. And I don't have to just look to the world to find it. So it's this funny irony. Like now it's more so focused on how can I actually help someone with what I'm doing today?
Yeah.
Of course, I have days where I'm insane again. And God's like, bro, what? Did you forget? And yes, I do. I do forget. But he replenishes that and gives me more so I can go out and give someone else something that I wish I had had when I was young.
And the act of doing that is nourishment for your own soul. Like that.
Oh, it's
That feels better than the applause. You know what I mean?
so much better.
Yeah.
It's so much better. It's just a privilege to be able to do it. And what's amazing is you start to see, you always say like change can't be felt, but it can be measured and tested over time. The spike I used to get when people would say I was good at acting
Yeah.
was insane.
And then what
And I
about the
would just-
crash afterward?
And then, inevitably, because I'm like, I'm not, they're dumb. I suck.
Yeah.
And so then it would invalidate their just genuine, nice compliment.
Yeah.
But now, like, if we get a compliment or someone compliments something that I've done, even if it's just Katie saying, like, I'm proud of what you're doing, it's not what it used to be. This, like, out of balance, crazy ego hit.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, more of that. I need more of that. It's like, thank you so much. Like, I can actually receive it
Yeah.
in a balanced and real way. And it means more
Yeah.
because I'm not using it like a drug.
Right.
It has an actual value to me.
Right.
When someone shares something so positive, I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And then, that's all I want to do is to help encourage and inspire people.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. I was talking to my, one of my oldest friends, Kurt. Shout out to Kurt Christian.
Shout out.
Dave's nemesis.
Shout out, Kurt.
I was hanging with his dad. We were getting coffee in the morning. I was returning an air mattress he let me borrow like a couple months ago. And I was going and trying some different types of coffee that he had made. He's so awesome. And we were sitting there talking, and he was like, talking about the word inspire. He goes, think about the word, man. It's connected to spirit. And I was like, what? And he goes, what you're doing when you're inspiring someone is you're elevating their spirit
Oh,
to go and do something that otherwise they maybe not would have, right? And I was like, that's teaching.
Yeah.
And this guy's been a teacher for like 40 years. He was my calculus teacher, and I didn't fail. So that shows you just how good of a teacher you were. And he was like, yeah, when I teach, like he's like very shy. He has like a lot of social anxiety. You would never know. And he was like, I don't like teaching because I don't want to be up there talking. He goes, I look at it as I'm a vessel for the subject. And I was like, that's what I do. He was like, but you're an actor. Don't you love acting? Like you're on stage in the spotlight. And I was like, no. It's horrible. It's hard and it's awful. But because it means so much, I do it anyway. Like the fear and the anxiety and like, what if I mess up and everyone's watching me? That's not fun.
No.
That's very hard to do. But because acting means so much to me and because I've connected it with something so meaningful and God did that, I'm like, I'm just a vessel for the material, man. Like I'm serving the story and the story serves you. So like, I don't want to get in the way. So the temptation for me to be ego man again and be like, I'm going to give him one of these and try to be really, really good so that the audience likes me. It's so dead now. I won't do it anymore because it's no longer something in my character that I must do to fill something that's a God-shaped hole in me.
Yeah.
Like I'm cool.
Yeah.
And I loved that. Inspire, man. I was like, I had the same reaction. I was like, oh my gosh, I've been saying that all the time. So inspiring.
Yeah.
Think about that word. Break it down. Something in your spirit is responding to something true that someone said about themselves or something that is true in you, and it needs to come out. And maybe that's what artistry is, and artists coming together and affecting themselves in a positive way.
Yeah, it reminds me of like a flame. Like there's like a candle. Like there's a. If you look at it, to me, like I immediately thought of like just a flame. And like when you inspire somebody, if their flame is flickering and it's dim, like you're just with what you're expressing, and you're with the attempt to inspire another person by being vulnerable, by sharing, by being honest, by creating a thing that hopefully inspires through vulnerability, through yourself. Honestly, you reignite that flame. You keep it going here on earth. You keep you keep it going so that person can have their flame and maybe do the same for someone who's flickering. You know, like when you just brought up, it spoke to me because like I didn't know that about you back then. Like I would have had no clue that you were walking around with these thoughts of like, you know, like like I had similar thoughts. So it's probably why we got along so well in the beginning. Our humor was the same, and we were same like. We just talked about a lot of the same stuff, and we were like, wow, we're like very very close to being the same person. And you know, I felt the same about performing when I was young, and my dad would be like, "Oh, do this dance in front of this party of people," and I was like 7, like doing these dances, and you know, like people treat me real nice and stuff, and I was like, that's what it takes. I need to put myself out there and be funny or cute or whatever in order to be accepted. And so I relate, but like what you were talking about walking around, like I felt the same way in my 20s when I was doing this, and it was the first thing that was like people treated me very well. They responded to me with love and attention, and then you'd get that spike like you were talking about, and you would be chasing the spike like a drug. Like you'd get really good at acting for the byproduct that, you know, I wanted to serve the story. I wanted to inspire people, and all that stuff felt really good. But there was always this other thing of like, but people know me as this. This makes me special. This separates me. I belong now because of this thing. And if I'm not seen as this thing, then what am I? Probably nothing. Let's not even look back there. Let's not even look at who I am without this thing. Let's just stay in it. And yeah, that was dangerous, man. But like, yeah, man, I'm thinking it's messing me up because I'm thinking about you going through that, and what had inspired you up until that point was these other performances, was these other stories that like kept that flicker alive for you, and it did the same for me. I remember sitting at the end of my bed in Elmwood Park, like eating like the bottom of a bag of Tostitos and like rewatching like the same DVD over and over and over, dude. Like, you know, like for hours and hours and hours, and just feeling like, oh, it's taking me away. It's doing something to me. I couldn't tell you what, but I wanted to stay awake. Like I was alone. I didn't even care. Like I was just enjoying myself watching this thing. And story became real important and meaningful to me. And like, once you receive that flame, once someone passes it to you, it's like some part of your humanity, your spirit, like whatever you want to call it, has the desire to do that for another person. Like, it's so hard out there, bro. It's so hard. Like, life becomes so difficult at some point for everyone. Early on, later, middle of the road, like, and it gets tough. But like, our duty is kind of to like keep the flame alive for the other person who you may not know is going through it. Like, what other job is more important than that? What other job takes precedent over taking care of each other while we're here? Honestly, what would it be? I can't think of one.
That's one of the sole purposes, I think, of being there for each other.
Yeah,
you know, for life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't think of something more important than that while we're here.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know. It's what it's all about. And the word is like servant, right? Like service. Yeah. How can I serve you?
Steward, right? Isn't that another word for it?
Steward, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
yeah, it's so much different than what it was before.
Oh man,
which is great, which is a beautiful blessing.
Yeah, bro, but you know, it's dangerous with that with the new fame. We got to be careful now. Getting more.
Hey, you can throw everything I said out the window. It's your boy's dummy vibe, baby.
Yeah, that stuff's all cool, but
that stuff's all cool. You keep that.
I want dummy.
I mean,
viral.
that's cool for you, but you ain't viral.
I'm out here getting bags, dude. Okay, I gotta respond to my followers, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I had one last thing I wanted to bring up. I wanted to bring it up today because Adam's here, and it was this interesting person I learned about. So it's a performance artist. His name is Teching Se. Cancel me, I said it wrong. But he's a Taiwanese performance artist, and I kind of have a weird history of performance art. I don't know if you guys ever got into it, but I had a class in like college, and I really like was like, dude, this sucks. It's gonna be 3 hours on a like Wednesday night at like 9 p.m. Like, I hate this. You know what I mean? And it was my only option to like graduate on time, right? So I did it. And the teacher was an asshole. Everyone hated it. Like, you're 1 minute late, like you're in detention. You're not detention, but you're like marked off, like less points on like your grade. And I was like, every time I showed up, I was like, I hate this. And like over the year, I really like found myself like really interested.
Yeah.
And like kind of like understanding like what actual performance artists, like the goal of like what they're trying to do and stuff. And they're really living like performing art, like life, like in society, in everyday life, when all the, you know, everyone's doing their routines and people are passing, like they're there too, like disrupting that almost. And they're like have some sort of purpose, right? And they're just doing that. So that's what I kind of got out of that whole class. So that's why I'm like kind of interested in it sometimes. And I don't really like look for anything, you know what I mean? Like after I graduated and stuff. But this came up randomly through like a recommendation. And it's this guy that he's from Taiwan, and like back in the day when it was like communist stuff and it was really bad over there, and he just wanted to do art. That was like his sole purpose. Like he just wanted to do like performance art. He was really into it. And the stuff he was trying to do was very like against the culture there, right? It was, a lot of his like stuff dealt with like time passing, what really matters, you know, purpose and everything like that. So he planned that he's like, he kept hearing about like New York is like America, and New York is like the place for art, and like everyone's there like doing all these different things, and you can do whatever you want there. Like it's you're free to do it, you know? And he's like, I gotta go there. So his plan was he like served in the military for like 3 years, because you have to over there. And once he got out of that, he took like from the military thing, he took a sailor job that was like connected, and he like jumped ship and like left with nothing, like barely any money.
Escape communism.
Basically, he jumped off the ship and like was illegal, like in New York. He like got off the boat in like Pennsylvania. He like swam to the shore and then like found his way up to America. He's never been in his whole life. It took him like 3 years to even like take the subway, because he's like, I'm scared to be like, you know, sent back. Spotted, you know. So he did that. He finally got situated, and after a couple of years, he you know, of working jobs to, you know, just survive and stuff like that, he wanted to start doing his art. He found people and friends and everything, and he did a series of like 5. He did a couple different works, and the important thing is his works were very when he was doing them, they got like some recognition, but not a lot. And it only like recently started getting like picked up, like a Van Gogh kind of thing, you know, like they started like really appreciating it after like years and after he was like, you know, a lot older now. So he had like a series of 5 year-long performance artists, like performance installations.
A year?
And they're crazy.
Whoa.
I'll name a couple of them. One of them was like him, he like shaved his head and like shaved his face, and he was basically like in a jail cell, and he had like a clock in punch card, and he would clock in and punch in every hour for a year. And that's all he did. And he would take a picture when he did it.
Whoa.
And it's basically like a time lapse of, you know, him punching in every hour, and there's like a clock on it.
That says a lot.
And there's a clock, you know, like it's like a time lapse video. It's the clock going in circle, and his hair growing all the way. There's that.
He's punching into life.
Yeah. So it's like about like, you know, how much is really happening in a year, you know what I mean? When you can like in one picture, like 1 second, you can, you know, cut it down to like this minute-long video. You know what I mean? There's that. He did like 5 different ones that were like a year long. You know, one of them, another one was and a lot of them dealt with like, you know, he thought about time a lot. He thought about purpose. One of them was like social anxiety. One of them he did was he tied himself to like another person, like a woman, and they would never touch each other, and they would just have to go everywhere, like in a 6 foot. That was social distancing back then, dude. You know what I mean? But it was 6 feet, like a rope, basically, and they did everything together.
Wow.
You know, and that was to deal with his like social anxiety kind of thing.
For a year.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Why not just date? You know what I'm saying?
No, he just wanted to, and the other person was like about it too, like to see what they would, you know, learn basically. Like that's the thing that I'm trying to like think about now. I'm like, it's crazy, you know, like a movie or like a painting.
Yeah.
Like it's all, you know, in this like big bubble called art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
You know? And the last thing he did, because I love his thing, because it's not about like the recognition, the like anything. He just wants to know.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He's
Yes.
doing it for himself. He wants to know all these things.
Yes.
And this group of people that he found. This was the thing he wanted to do since he was, you know, like under the worst like circumstances in like Taiwan. And his last he kept doing like installations for years and years and years, like 20 years, right? And his last installation was he would make art for I think a year, like a whole year of not putting any of it out, not showing anyone, talking about it or doing anything. And then he did that for 1 year, and I think he extended it to 13 years. And then he just like quit and said, "That's it. Like that's my last thing."
What did he learn?
And he didn't show anything. He didn't talk about it. He just
must have learned
everything. He
something.
left up to like interpretation.
He must have learned something in
Yeah.
those 13 years of not putting out his
Yeah.
paintings.
Yeah,
Whoa.
Wow.
it's weird, man. Weird.
That's crazy. What's his name again?
Don't make him say it twice, too.
No, just spell it.
Tehching. Say Hsieh.
Got you.
And he had a quote. He put I don't know. I just screenshotted it. He put, "Life is a life sentence. Life is passing time. Life is free thinking."
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check this out.
Yeah.
Did I have the
See,
desire
so-
to do performance art? I do.
Huh?
I have the desire to do that, to do
Yeah.
a performance installation, but it would be just like that Marina Abramovich lady did. I don't know how many days she did it for, but like I just want to do a 24-hour, just sit there and like stare into another person's eyes as long as they want.
Yeah. We gotta do that.
Like you know,
would be
just like
cool.
different walks of life, and like it's like repetition,
Yeah.
just no words.
Yeah, that's cool.
I would love to do that. Oh God, Mike, I want to do that.
We
love
should
it.
set up one day, dude. Summer.
Yeah.
Perfect time.
That'd
Just
be
set up
so-
a table.
and put a sign.
Put a
up
sign that says,
and just record it for a day.
"Yeah, I want
I'm
to stare.
so down
Be
for
like-
that.
I want to stare."
Be in the moment as much as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it knocks out that you know, like you know what it is. It's you just, we've been through this a million times. It's
I love it.
it kills the inorganic and the wall. Once the wall comes down when you're just staring at somebody, and they start to peek over the wall at you, and you see the child behind the eyes, like
Yeah.
the soul behind the eyes. Like once they let you in and you let them in, it's just so disarming, so free. You feel like two children again, like safe. The emotion that comes through that, you know, with no words, just another person's eyes. It's just amazing, dude. It's so powerful. And
So cool.
I want to do that so bad.
I love it.
If you had to do an art installation, what would it be?
Oh man. Oh gosh. Oh, that's such a good one. Good question. Man, I don't know. Oh man. Just listening to everybody, I guess.
Ah,
I don't know.
something to do with that?
Can't speak. Just have to listen. Someone comes up, they get to express anything they want. I just
like
have to
that.
listen to.
That's really cool.
Maybe
Yeah,
it's the first thing that came to my mind. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
That's a good idea too.
That's really cool. Oh man. What about you, Mike?
I don't know.
I feel like something with sound waves or something with you. Something with humans and sound waves.
I don't know. I kind of like that idea of like someone just like you're there just to receive, you know,
Yeah.
to serve, right? Like maybe someone just gives something.
Yeah,
I'll take whatever you want.
yeah,
You want to give.
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, like anything, like a written thing, a
Yeah.
handshake or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool.
It might be mixed
Yeah.
up though. It might seem like I'm homeless.
Well, for sure.
Yeah.
Unless you're in a museum.
Yeah.
But that's cool too. That gives it a different experience. That's the thing about the Marina Abramovich lady. Like she was in a museum.
Yeah.
I'm like, what if that was like on the street? What would how different would it be?
That's a good question.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What I'm just thinking.
Yeah,
I'm just
sure.
spitballing. We got to get you out of here,
Yeah.
I gotta bounce. But this is so amazing.
dude. Thank you
Thank you,
so
guys.
much. Real quick
y'all.
before we get you out, I just want to say a quick shout out to everyone who's been reaching out on the through the pod, through the IG, through
Yeah,
the
man.
DMs, YouTube.
It blew my mind. Someone said that he told us, like, showed his therapist.
Yeah. Oh,
clip from
dude,
us.
Joey. Shout out
like,
Joey.
what?
Thank you, man. Yeah, he showed it
Wow.
his therapy group, and they shared it. What were we saying? Joey. Thank
Yeah,
you.
shout out Joey,
Shout out
man.
Joey.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for expressing
That's really cool
love and
that he
care.
did that.
Yeah, man. I'm glad we reached you. And welcome to the team. Again, anyone who reached out, thank you guys. We love you. Keep reaching out. New people every day. It's weird and it's amazing, and I love meeting new people through this thing. And this is our candle we're holding up, trying to light others. So we love you guys. Adam, you know I love you, dog.
I love you, man. Love you guys. This is awesome.
Dude, thank you so much. People can
anytime.
find you at Anytown Actors Lab right now. It's going to be tough to get in, but get in early. It's a healthy stock right now. Things booming on TikTok, on Instagram, Anytown Actors Lab.
Yes, sir.
Big things to come, hopefully, but we'll see. Always learning and growing from you, and thank you for coming on the show today, man. We love you.
And thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It's so good to talk with you guys. As always, keep up the good work.
Thanks, dude.
Boom. Thank you, Adam. All right. Your Here Podcast. We love you guys. YourHerePodcast.net. If you guys want to send a question or anything, we have that special box. We crafted it just for you.
It's for you.
My cousin coded it just for
Fabricio,
you guys.
love you, Fabricio.
Shout out to Fabricio.
Patreon if you want to help us out. Pay the bills.
Patreon.com/YourHerePod. That's it, man.
That's
I love
it.
you guys. Just keep spreading the love. My name's Mike, and I'm signing out.
My name's Dave. I love you all. Please be kind to one another, and please be kind to yourself.
My name's Adam. Find your meaning. That's it.
Come on.